was your hand or the hand of God?
Sí, no. For me, man.
June 22nd, 1986. The Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. A moment that would divide football fans forever. A punch of the fist disguised as divine intervention. A goal that wasn't a goal. A revenge story steeped in war, politics, and national pride. This is the story of Diego Maradona's Hand of God. The most controversial moment in football history.
I was 8 years old, and I clearly remember being in the living room with my dad, and the first thing I remember is him saying, "He's punched it."
To understand the fire behind this match, we must rewind. 4 years earlier, in 1982, Argentina and the United Kingdom fought a brutal 74-day war over the Falkland Islands, or as Argentines call them, Las Malvinas. Over 900 lives were lost, most of them Argentine. The conflict left scars of humiliation and anger in Argentina, while Britain celebrated victory. But football would soon offer Argentina a chance for redemption. By 1986, the World Cup in Mexico became a stage for unfinished battles. When Argentina drew England in the quarter-final, it wasn't just a game, it was a symbolic war. Maradona himself later said, "We were defending our flag, it was revenge." The rivalry wasn't new. In 1966, England defeated Argentina in a World Cup quarter-final marred by controversy. Argentine captain Antonio Ratin was controversially sent off, and England's manager called the team animals, a remark that still stung 2 decades later.
Team that comes out to play football and not act as animals.
By 1986, the stage was set for a clash of pride, politics, and footballing genius. Argentina's humiliation in 1966 became folklore. Ratin's dismissal for violence of the tongue, though he spoke no English, was seen as colonial arrogance. The British press doubled down, mocking Argentina's exit. Fast forward to 1986. Maradona, now 25, carried not just a nation's hopes, but its fury. His childhood in Villa Fiorito, a Buenos Aires slum, forged a street fighter's instinct. As he later said, "In Argentina, we learn to cheat before we learn to play." Meanwhile, England arrived in Mexico under immense pressure. Their squad, led by Gary Lineker and veteran goalkeeper Peter Shilton, was haunted by the shadow of hooliganism and a decade of underperformance. Manager Bobby Robson knew this match was about more than football. "We were told to keep politics out of it," he admitted later, but the tension was palpable. The Falklands were in the air. Held in Mexico just months after a catastrophic earthquake killed 10,000 people in Mexico City, this tournament wasn't just about football, it was about resilience. Stadiums were rebuilt and the host nation rallied around their team, especially their goalkeeper Pablo Larios, who played despite losing family in the disaster. Against this backdrop of tragedy and passion, Argentina and England arrived as polar opposites. Argentina's squad was a powder keg of emotion. Manager Carlos Bilardo had made a bold and controversial decision to drop Mario Kempes, the hero of their 1978 World Cup win, betting everything on one man, Diego Maradona. Their tactics revolved entirely around him. Teammate Jorge Valdano later admitted, "We were a one-man team, but that man was a hurricane." England, on the other hand, was the picture of discipline. Their captain Peter Shilton was a 36-year-old goalkeeping legend who studied penalty takers like a scientist. Up front they had Gary Lineker, the tournament's top scorer, fresh off a 40-goal season with Everton. But their preparation was far from perfect. Hooligan riots in Monterrey had led to FIFA threatening to expel them from the tournament. Defender Terry Fenwick recalled, "We felt like pariahs before the match even began." The stage was set, 2 teams, 2 histories, and one moment that would change everything. But this wasn't just a football match, it was a rematch of sorts, a chance for Argentina to settle a score that went far beyond the pitch. For Argentina's military junta, this game was a propaganda goldmine. State media broadcast the match on giant screens in Buenos Aires with the headline, "La Revancha, the Revenge." Veterans were paraded before the team. Their message to Maradona was clear. Win for those who couldn't come home, but England carried their own invisible wounds. Midfielder Steve Hodge, whose errant clearance would later lead to the hand of God, had a brother serving in the Royal Navy during the war. "I'd seen photos of burned sailors," Hodge confessed. "Part of me wondered, do they hate us enough to kill?" Maradona, ever the master of mind games, weaponized this tension. Psychologists analyzed his pre-game rituals. He isolated himself, listening to Cuban revolutionary songs. When he tied his boots, he whispered, "Malvinas." Defender Oscar Ruggeri revealed, "Diego told us, if you see me punch Shilton, punch them harder. This wasn't football, it was warfare." And then it happened. The moment that would be replayed millions of times, debated in bars, and etched into football history forever. In the 51st minute, Steve Hodges' miskick looped toward the penalty area. Maradona, all 5 feet and 5 inches of him, leapt toward the ball. Towering over him was England's goalkeeper Peter Shilton, standing at 6 foot and 1 inch. Let's freeze this moment. Biomechanics show Maradona's left hand made contact with the ball at 2.4 meters high, a height impossible for him to reach legally. Tunisian referee Ali bin Nasser, positioned 20 yards away, had his view blocked by Terry Fennick. Linesman Bogdan Doshev later admitted, "I saw the hand, but in 1986, assistants didn't challenge referees." The ball hit the net. Chaos erupted. England's players protested furiously. Shilton slammed the ball into the turf. Terry Butcher charged at the referee, screaming, "He's a bloody cheat!" But the decision stood. No video review. No justice. As Gary Lineker later noted, "We knew it was handball, but in 1986 there was no way to prove it." But here's the twist. Just 4 minutes later, Maradona took the spotlight once more. This time there was no controversy, just pure, unadulterated genius. Picking up the ball 60 meters from goal, he danced past 5 English players, shifting direction 8 times in 10 seconds before slotting it past Shilton. England defender Terry Butcher later analysed the run. "We thought he'd pass, but when he skipped past Reed, we panicked. I lunged twice, he was a ghost." 2 goals, one born of cunning, the other of brilliance. Together they encapsulated the duality of Maradona, the cheat and the genius, the villain and the hero. The fallout was immediate and explosive. England's tabloids declared "hand of the devil" and "robbed by a cheat." Argentina, meanwhile, revelled in the controversy. State-run Channel 7 replayed the handball with a caption, "Dios es argentino," God is Argentine. But even within the Argentine camp there were whispers of doubt. Teammate Jorge Burruchaga confessed, "We celebrated, but some of us felt uneasy. Was this really how we wanted to win?" Maradona, ever the provocateur, silenced them. "You think the English would apologize for the Falklands? This is justice." The hand of God didn't just decide a match. It reshaped football itself. Within a year, FIFA mandated 2 assistant referees. In 2018, VAR was introduced, aiming to erase human errors. But as former referee and legend of the game, Pierluigi Collina admits, technology can't kill myths. Maradona's handball made football human. The moment also birthed a media obsession with villains. When Luis Suarez handballed Ghana's shot in 2010, The Guardian dubbed him Maradona's apprentice. Thierry Henry's 2009 handball against Ireland saw 50,000 Irish fans sign a petition titled "Avenge Hodge." These moments were massive controversies at the time, yet they don't come close to matching the cultural impact of Maradona's original in 1986. So, what does the hand of God truly represent? Is it cheating, revenge, divine intervention? Perhaps it's all 3. For Argentina, it was a flicker of hope after national trauma. For England, a lesson in injustice. And for football, it's a reminder that the game is human, flawed, electric, and unforgettable. As Maradona once said, "History is written by the victors." And on that day in Mexico City, Diego Armando Maradona wrote his name in fire. Love him or hate him, one thing is certain. The hand of God is more than a moment. It's a mirror reflecting the raw, unscripted drama that makes football the world's most beautiful game.